Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast live, midweek Wednesday night edition. Yes. I'm going to be holding it down myself tonight, but it's still got a pretty good show for you. Got some pretty interesting topics, I think, and got a couple of quick hits, of course. So obviously, when it's just me, the show tends to go a lot faster. So that's probably what's going to happen here. We don't have Transformer and G, but that's all right. You know, I can handle it. So yeah, got some interesting topics. Going to talk about obviously LeBron, right? We talk about NBA. LeBron is the guy, right? He's the biggest name in that league, so we got to talk about him. We'll talk a little bit about Boomer Esiason, former NFL quarterback, and his recent comments regarding Shadur Sanders, arguably, depending on how you look at it, the top or the second best quarterback coming out in this year's draft class. Then we'll talk the main topic, obviously, Anthony Edwards, and how he recently said that he doesn't have any interest in being the face of the league, and needless to say, I do not like that. But we'll get into it. There's more to it than that, more context. And then finally, we'll finish up with an NFL topic because, of course, the NFL is king, and we will talk about the Cincinnati Bengals and their contract issues and what they're going to do about getting that done. So, yeah, definitely I'm excited and ready to bring you this show, but before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and you know what I'm going to do. Then we'll take a couple minutes, see if we get some more people in the chat, and then we'll get it rolling. If you're watching here on YouTube, make sure you go ahead, click that subscribe, that like, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept aware anytime we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you enjoy the content as you listen, make sure you give us a like, a 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And write it down, put it in your phones, make a note of it. The Format Podcast is live Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern. And finally, if you're really and truly enjoying the podcast and you want to help the show continue to grow, make sure you go ahead, click that join button, join the channel. We're going to have some exclusive content just for you. Speaking of that exclusive members only content, I got that on the way. I'm hard at work on it. So hopefully we'll see that pretty soon here. But I think it's going to be a pretty good episode, basketball themed. So, yep, that's on the way. That's coming. All right. Like I said, we'll take a couple of minutes here and we will let a couple people get in the chat, and then we will see what we got going on. Man, thank you so much. All right. Cincinnati Bengals. So Cincinnati Bengals, they struggled this past year. A lot of it was early defensive issues and defensive issues throughout the year, despite the fact that number 91, Trey Hendrickson, led the league in sacks. I think he had 17 and a half or 18 sacks. He got busy. But, man, Joe Burrow got busy. I think he was number one in the league, if I'm not mistaken, in QBR, had like 4,900 passing yards, more than 40 touchdowns, I think 47 touchdowns, like 9 picks. Joe Burrow had a hell of a season. And I said on this show that had Joe Burrow, had the Bengals made the playoffs, I would have, and I had a vote, Joe Burrow would have been my MVP, my most valuable player for what he did. He was incredible. That's it. Now we're in the offseason, and the Bengals have some serious issues to contend with. Why do they have serious issues to contend with? The 3 players that we have here in this thumbnail, Jamar Chase, who is the Triple Crown winner this year, i.e. led the league in receiving touchdowns, receiving yards, and receptions, and T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson, the aforementioned Trey Hendrickson, defensive end, league leader in sacks. They are all up for new contracts, and they are in a they're in a tough spot. Why are they in a tough spot? Because Mike Brown, the owner of Cincinnati Bengals, is notoriously cheap, and Joe Burrow signed a new deal not last summer, but I believe the summer prior. And so now what you have to deal with is a situation where you're trying to figure out how you make all this money work, again, because football is not like basketball. There's no soft cap. There's a hard cap. And the 2025 season the teams have been notified on Wednesday, which was today, that the expected salary cap range for the 2025 season will be $277 million to $281 million per team, right? And so you have now You have this is the range, and I think it's up $53 million over the last 2 seasons, right? Last year was $255.4 million salary cap. So here's the deal. You always hear about, well, teams got to make it work under the salary cap, blah, blah, blah. So I think his name is Andrew Brandt, used to be the GM for the Green Bay Packers. And he has a Substack now, and I've heard him on The Odd Couple with Rob Parker when Chris Broussard was still on there, and he used to get on and he used to do hits and he would talk about different things. And so he actually said that this notion of the salary cap being prohibitive to teams signing who they want, he said it's all BS. He said that any team can make it work as long as all right, all right. Everybody's still with me, man. I appreciate y'all. I had a power glitch and it rebooted my system, but I'm back. I'm here. Somebody remind me where we were. We were talking about the Cincinnati Bengals and their contract issues, right? Da, 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 da. Okay, yeah. So we have the what was it? The $281 million salary cap ceiling, right? Between 271 and 277 and 281, up from 255. So we're now looking at a situation where we heard Joe Burrow say that he wants to try his best to keep this team together this year. And, we see I was saying how if I had a vote and the Bengals had made the playoffs, I would have voted for Joe Burrow as MVP based on the type of season that he had and how he played out of his mind uh, in order to get the Bengals back in position for that. Right now, here's the thing. When you look at that, you say, okay, he did all of that work, but he couldn't have done it alone. Obviously, again, he had the sack leader in the league. He had the Triple Crown leader in Jamar Chase, who is now up for a new deal. He wanted a new deal last year. They didn't give it to him. They're going to have to give it to him this year. And of course, they have T. Higgins, who is his number 2 receiver and could be a number 1 for a lot of teams in the league. And so he's up for a deal. Now, what I heard recently is that they may be trying to franchise him. Now, he doesn't have to sign the tag, but then it's like, okay, what are they going to do if he doesn't sign it? But he wants a new deal. And Joe Burrow is saying, look, we got to keep all these guys together. These are all my weapons, and these are the guys that allow me to play at this high level. And he's saying he's willing to do what he needs to do. Now, if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm suggesting, hey, I'm walking in there to the GM's office and saying, hey, how can we restructure my deal so that we can keep my weapons here, right? And so let's see, where are we? Now you're saying, here's Joe Burrow's quote, and this was prior to the Super Bowl. Quote, we have the cap space to get it done. I want to make it happen. Everybody involved. Trey, and that's Trey Hendrickson, that's T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Mike Gesicki, their tight end. We all want to stay together. When you have guys that are motivated like that, I think you can get those things done. Chase is expected to top Justin Jefferson's mega deal, which would put him at more than $40 million per year with more than $110 million guaranteed over 4 years. So that would make him reset the wide receiver market, which he has earned, right? Triple Crown winner, and just has been absolutely electric since he came into the league. And as we know, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, they've been together since their days at LSU. Higgins is likely to fall in the range of $30 million on an annual basis, and Hendrickson is also likely to get around $30 million per year. The Bengals will have around $53.1 million in cap space per overthecap.com. This is before the team makes cuts to gain even more money. It wouldn't be surprising if the Bengals move on from guard Alex Kappa, defensive end Sam Hubbard, and linebacker Jermaine Pratt based off of their production last season. With the new salary cap information, the Bengals front office has a few busy weeks ahead. The NFL Combine starts next week, and the franchise tag window is now open until March 4th. Free agency begins on March 12th, and Seattle must go into the new league year with a detailed plan to ensure they win the first major part of the offseason. So they have to figure out not just, okay, how can we try to restructure Joe Burrow's deal, but how can we restructure some of the deals of the other players on this team? How can we maybe make some cuts, let some guys go? What's available in free agency at key positions that we can pick up on the cheap? What are we looking at in the draft that we can get guys on rookie deals that will help to save us money? All of these things, the Bengals need to work on their defense. Says it's not that serious. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not that serious. They got one thing improved on the defense, and that is defensive coordinator Al Golden, who helped Notre Dame get all the way to the national championship game. So we know they got the coaching part of it down, right? But in all seriousness, not sure. Laker Nation, you still at this? By the way, Gary Payton's from the Bay. He's not from LA, so I don't know if you get to count that. But anyway, we're not talking about that. Yeah, so I think that it's going to be a combination of things, of restructuring deals, maybe depending on what guys are willing to take to stay there. But the problem is, because you waited now, guys are really going to want their money, especially is a situation like Jamar Chase, where you could have paid him last year, but he went out and had a career year this year and just went ham. So you have to reset the market with this guy. Trey Hendrickson led the league in sacks. I don't know how you don't give him a max deal. T. Higgins, I don't know what you do there. You got to figure that out, man. All that stuff is real. You have to figure that out. But again, it's going to cause, like we said, it's going to have to cause some cuts on personnel in other places, and they're going to have to do a really good job scouting and drafting. But here's the problem. Mike Brown, the owner of the Bengals, who's notoriously cheap, this is a guy who, per TJ Hushmanzada, who played for the Bengals, said that Mike Brown, the owner, bought used jock straps or kept used jock straps, I don't know, and tried to give them to his players. Dumped them out on the floor in the middle of the locker room and told them, take them. Used jock straps because you're that cheap. You're a freaking NFL owner and you're reusing jock straps. Like, that's terrible. This is a guy, I think he also used to lock up the Gatorade so guys couldn't take it home. He used to limit, what they could have. It is crazy, man. The cheapness is absurd. They're in Cincinnati, and I think he's just now trying to like build an indoor facility for those guys, knowing how cold and disgusting it gets there in the winter. Like, I don't know, man. It's bad. But the point is, also to his level of cheapness, another problem is you have if you're Mike Brown, most teams I think have 10 or more scouts in their scouting department. The Bengals have 4 because they just don't want to pay. Like, that's really, really bad. So I was going to say you need to really make sure you do an outstanding job scouting the upcoming players in this draft so that you can make quality draft picks and get guys who are on rookie deals that can continue to contribute to the team. That way you can let some of the other guys go, right? You can let some of the other guys go, and then you would have that option, right? So you would be cutting money, but not necessarily cutting production. You get a younger guy to do it, but you got less scouts, so I don't know how you do that, man. But it's tough overall, and this is going to be key because we know how good the Bengals can be when they're at their peak, but if they don't figure out a way to keep these guys, and I think they're not going to let Jamar Chase walk, right? Even if they got to lose the other 2, Jamar Chase is going to be there. But Joe Burrow is going to be upset. He wants to keep his guys. He needs his weapons. So I think a big part of this whole thing, like I said, is going to be him restructuring. But the problem is, one of the best ways to restructure and get around the cap is to convert some of a player's salary into a bonus, right? Because bonuses don't hurt the cap. But if you convert to a bonus and you're an owner, you got to put that money in escrow so that they can get it, so that they know the money is there. And a lot of owners don't want to pay that money up front. So it's like, I don't know what you're going to do if you're Mike Brown. Do you really want to win? Do you want to maximize and take advantage of a guy like Joe Burrow being in his peak and being in his prime and having these elite weapons around him? Or do you want to be cheap? I don't know. That's up to you. But I am going to leave that right there. That was just a quick topic, but I definitely wanted to make sure that I got in some NFL talk. And again, pardon me for that glitch and glitching out on y'all for a few minutes. That was unintended, but it happens sometimes. Thank you for those of you who stuck with me. I'll take 2 calls if anybody wants to call in regarding this, and then we will get out of here for the night, man. So 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. So let's do it this way. Do you think that Mike Brown is going to do what he has to do to keep this team together? Do you think that, let's see, if he has to let's say, if he has to keep 2 of these guys, which are the 2 guys you think he keeps between Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Trey Hendrickson? And how do you think that affects Joe Burrow going forward? How do you think he deals with that? So, yeah, 904-219-8264. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Laker Nation was good. Hold on. My bad. Lost my connection to the mixer. There we go. Go ahead. Say it again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, got you.
I said your viewers are gonna keep calling in disrespecting my town. I don't know what the hell, what hard on y'all got for LA. We know softness over there. Y'all can put that in the pipe and smoke it for all I give it.
Yeah. We talk about the Bengals, man. What you got?
Yeah, I'm trying to change the subject.
We talk about the Bengals, man. That's the topic.
You letting your callers try to single me out.
Man, nobody's singling you out, man. Don't take that personal, man. We all having fun
here.
What are
you talking about my city? What the hell? What do you mean don't take it personal?
Don't take it personal, man. You all right?
This guy.
What you
I
got
think
on
they
the
already
Bengals, man?
franchise tagged T. Higgins.
I think they said they wanted to. I don't know if he signed it.
He's probably not going. I don't think he is going to sign it.
Right. I don't know. I
But
might though, because
because
the franchise tag is, what is it? An average of the top 5 players' salaries at the position, and it's fully guaranteed. It's only 1 year, but
I think his is close to like $8 million. But can't somebody swoop in and sign them right up under them with them being franchise tag? Ain't that how it works in the NFL? If I'm not mistaken. You're the football guru.
I wouldn't call myself a guru, but no, I believe that if he's franchised, they have his rights again for the next year, so they can hold on to him. That's the whole point of the franchise. You can hold on to a player that you want while you figure out how and if you're going to give him a long-term deal.
I don't know. He gonna have to lose somebody. I mean, that's the only thing that sucks about the salary cap in the NFL.
Yeah. But I mean, that's
Same
just
thing
part
with
of the
us
game.
when we give Purdy that money, we want to let some key guys go.
Right.
Like I think Deebo Samuel's the first casualty.
Agreed.
And he gonna be gone this offseason. So I think that's what that's what happens. That's what happens when you I don't know. I don't know, but they going just at the end of that salary cap in the NFL, man. It makes it hard to keep your squad together.
It does, and I think that's kind of the point, to try and have some level of parity, right? But the best GMs know how to work with it. You got to have a GM that wants to work with it, and you have an owner that's not going to be super cheap doing stuff like giving people used jock straps, right?
Man, I wouldn't put on no used jock strap either.
Agreed. I mean, the mere fact that you would, yeah, go ahead.
Man, he got a lot of balls giving a 6'8", 350-pound dude a used jock strap.
Great point. I can't. Yeah, I don't know what would.
There's some massive ass motherfuckers. And some of them still are from the hood, so that shit might come out. You might hear on the news.
Right.
I just defensive end and held the owner from the rooftop by his ankles today.
Right. On some Suge Knight. Right. So here's a thought. Chris Godwin he's coming off injury, but he's a free agent. So maybe if T. Higgins moves on, you grab up Chris Godwin, but a little cheaper.
They're going to have to do something.
They're going to have to do something.
They got holes in their defense they need to fill.
Yeah.
They got to fix that offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a hell of a draft.
Mm-hmm.
They got to hit some home runs in that draft. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm wondering how they are going to, how does their scouting department work? They only got 4 scouts. Like, Mike Brown is so ridiculously cheap. It's like, come on, 4 scouts for an NFL. There's a lot of college programs that got more scouts than that. That's terrible.
They only got 4 scouts. That's crazy.
Exactly. Because he doesn't want to pay.
How the hell they get find Joe Burrow? No, let me stop.
Well, right. You didn't need a scout to know he was the real deal.
Let me stop.
Right.
Damn, they got, man, he's going to have to open up the pocketbook because you can't be cheap and win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, we knocked Jerry Jones, but at least he willing to open up his pocketbook.
Right. But he'll only really open it up for the dudes that he drafted because he wants to show that, they're smart football guys in Dallas, so.
I mean, cut you off. They're saying that my volume's still low.
They're saying that what?
My volume's still low. I don't know how to fix that because I'm on my phone.
Yeah, I don't know either. Let me see. All right, can y'all hear better now? Go ahead, say something, Laker Nation.
Can y'all hear me? If I give a thumbs up in the chat or something, if you can hear me. If not, I won't hold up the show. I'm gonna let somebody else call if they can't hear me.
You should be good now. I just boosted it up on the mixer, but yeah. So okay, there we go. Yeah, he says it's good now.
Okay. What I was saying is, man, they only have folks. Man, you gotta open up the pocket. You gotta open up your pocketbook, man, if you want to win, because you in that tough AFC North.
Mm-hmm.
You're in that tough AFC North where every game is serious.
That's right. But they've
So
been. Yeah, sorry.
No, I was gonna say, every game is tough out there, and the AFC is tough as it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you say that all the time.
Yeah, man.
How tough the AFC is. So he's gonna have to do something.
Yeah, he is. But he's notoriously cheap. Like, he's known for that. So we'll see what happens.
Well, he's gonna have to make a decision if Joe Burrow has to request a trade next year.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to piss off your franchise quarterback.
You do not, because he'll ask out of there.
Yeah,
and
everybody in their mama going.
That's right.
Open up their bank account to get Joe Burrow over there on their squad, because you see the Rams is willing to ship off Matthew Stafford. So
hell yeah.
you think LA won't?
Oh,
you think LA wouldn't want Joe Burrow down there?
Listen, Joe Burrow with what's his name, with Sean McVay. Oh, that'd be crazy. And Puka Nacua, what?
That'll be insane. And they're made it known they're willing to move Matthew Stafford, which I feel bad, because he's a very good quarterback, and him being traded twice in his career is insane.
Right.
Who knows? Shit. Detroit may make Jared Goff available if Burrow asks for a trade. You never know. People that you wouldn't think that wouldn't make a move will make a move to get him. So he better tread lightly over there. That's the only thing I gotta say.
Definitely.
You gotta keep a player of his caliber happy.
Yeah, I would agree. So I would agree. Yeah, you got a guy like that. You have to. You got to take care of him.
Yeah, you got to. You got to get him some. If he asks for weapons, give him his weapons. Protect him. Give him his line. Whatever he asks for. He don't ask for much.
Mm-hmm.
He don't ask for much. He don't cause no issues. He show up to work, and he put up. His numbers were what, top 2, top 3 last year, and they didn't make the playoffs.
Yep.
And he didn't even get on the. He didn't even make a fuss. He didn't make a fuss about it. Most quarterbacks in his position would make a fuss. They get on the news, get on the media. I said news, media, it's the same thing. Damn, it must be getting late.
Right.
They'll get on social media
mm-hmm.
and start saying like, "Hey, y'all better do something, man. I'm balling out, man. I need some help."
Mm-hmm.
He ain't do none of that. So
right.
So no, if he don't get it together and he demands a trade,
they can't possibly let it get that bad. I would hope not. That would be terrible.
I would love and hate to see it, because I'll get some popcorn and I'll be tuned into the TV, because
no doubt.
You thought that Luka trade was no news.
Right.
Shit, a Joe Burrow trade would be mega headline.
Right. Yeah, that would be gigantic. Man,
and you'll wipe your forehead. You'll be like, shit. I have one less team in my division I gotta worry about now.
That's right. Yeah, man.
But I'm gonna let you go, Bruce, and let somebody else call in.
All right, brother. I think I'm probably gonna kill it right here, man. But thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Huh?
I said no problem.
All right, brother. All right, y'all. Looks like we're probably not going to get any more calls on this topic, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it right here. Again, I apologize for the glitch out, but I got back to y'all as quickly as I could. But thank you so much for sticking with me, those of you who did. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe on the way out. Really appreciate it. And I am going to try very much or very desperately to get this special guest in line. I was trying to get him tonight to talk boxing, but couldn't get it to happen. But I'm going to try to make that happen before the end of the week. Obviously, we know we got huge fights on Saturday. So what's today? Wednesday. So between tomorrow or Friday. I'm going to try to make that happen. So y'all stay with me, and I will let you know. And I'm going to leave it right here. If not, as always, we'll be back on Sunday morning, and we out. Peace.